It's me again. I know that I said I wasn't going to really review all the books from my little break that I took, but there was one in particular that I read. It's been about 4 months, and I haven't read as many as I usually would. It's just been really crazy with the move and everything, but like I said, there was one book that I got in the, I was telling you, Barnes & Noble does the buy 4 get 1 free, or buy 2 get 1 free, and they're just, they have a bunch of books set out, and you pick out whatever, and that's usually why I've been picking up books, because I don't usually go to the store and buy the brand new books anymore, because I have way too many books to read, but I saw this one and I've been wanting to read it, and I do want to tell you that if it doesn't sound interesting, that you should try to pick it up anyway, in my opinion, because it didn't sound too interesting to me. And so I was like, oh, whatever, I'm not going to really pay attention, but I read it like maybe a month after picking it up, and I was like, it's amazing. So, but anyway, here, I'll get to it. It's Hotel on the Corner of Bitter and Sweet by Jamie Ford. And isn't that just the cutest cover? It's so cute. Anyway, I thought it was pretty interesting because it's based in World War II, but it's actually about, it's about the Japanese and the Chinese, because I guess a lot of the Chinese Americans didn't want to be associated with the Japanese because the Japanese Americans were being put into internment camps during World War II, as we all know. And so the book starts off in 1986. Henry Lee, he is outside the Panama Hotel, and it's actually in Seattle. And I want to go there because we just moved to this area. But it was boarded up. The Panama Hotel was boarded up for a while, and the owner finally the owner was able to go into there and discovered all this Japanese family's belongings in the basement. And it turns out that Henry Lee is this Chinese American, and his father wanted him to have nothing to do with the Japanese because he didn't want to be caught up in that and everything. And so his dad was, very, very strict and everything, and he ends up meeting a Japanese American girl when they're in elementary school, and she meets this girl. Henry meets a girl named Keiko Okabe, and he starts, becoming friends with her, and because they ended up going to an all-white school, so they kind of formed a friendship because they were the only Asians there, and of course they got picked on, so they formed a friendship. And it's just the sweetest story. Like, it goes back and forth between 1940s when they meet and they start becoming friends and stuff like that, and then they do like 2 chapters, and then they do 2 chapters of 1986 when he is getting all these belongings, and he's remembering his friendship with Keiko, and it's just really sweet. It's a really sweet story, and it's like one of the blurbs right here on the back, if you can see it. It says, a wartime era Chinese-Japanese variation on Romeo and Juliet. The period detail is so revealing and so well rendered. And it's true. It's the sweetest story, and it's, what I liked about it was I usually don't feel like, I get into my stories, but there's very few times that I get so involved that I feel angry when when certain parts happen, or I feel sad, and that's how this was. Like, I was on a roller coaster, and my husband was laughing at me because I would be reading it, and I was just like, no, don't do that, and he's like, what? So, it was just, what I like about it is it's not too long. It's about, 285 pages, and, but writing, the text, is pretty small. So it's, but it's still, it won't take you more than a couple days to read it, depending on how fast you read. So that's the only thing I didn't like about it. Was like, oh, I wish it would last longer, you know, because it was just an amazing story. And from what I know, this is his only, Jamie Ford is he's a Chinese American man, I think. And from what I know, he hasn't written any more books, so I'm kind of sad because I really want to read more. But he's coming out with more. He's coming out with a book next year, I think, but it's not a sequel to this or anything. But yeah, I just thought I'd let you know that, you know, if you can go check it out at the library or something, it's a really sweet story, and I just completely fell in love with it. I was so excited to read it every single day, and I've been getting into really bad reading slumps lately. I can't read anything. Anything I read is just, I don't know if it's the book or if it's me, but I get really bored. There's very few books that I just get into right away, and that's how this one was. I was reading a couple different books, like reading the first chapter of maybe 5 different books to see what I wanted, and each book I was forcing myself to read it. So I was like, no, I shouldn't have to force myself to read a book. And I picked up this one and I read the first couple. They have names on them too. Like it says, the first chapter is called The Panama Hotel, and it says, you know, it was in 1986. And so I remember reading I was like, okay, I'm going to read the first page of this and see how it goes. And I ended up reading like 5 pages, and I was like, okay, I guess this is the book for me. So it is just a really great book. And if you guys read Water for Elephants by Sarah Gruen, she put a blurb on the cover, and it says, mesmerizing and evocative, a tale of conflicted loyalties and timeless devotion. And it's just a really great story, and I love how the cover actually has her holding the umbrella with the koi fish on it, and that's a really big part of the story. So you can see the koi fish and everything, and it's just, it's so cute. Like, I can't go on about it. It's a really sweet story, and it'll just captivate you. I mean, if it doesn't, you can totally blame me, but what I was originally drawn to it was my cousin's name is Keiko, and that's the girl in the book, so I thought that was interesting. But yeah, like I said, it's a really sweet story, and I highly, highly recommend it. If anything, check it out at the library or something, because I know it didn't sound like my type of story. I mean, if that's your type of story, then, you know, go with it. But it's not my type of story. I don't like reading those types of stories. But it's really great. I'm really glad that I gave it a chance and everything. So, anyway, just want to let you know, I might be doing a few more reviews on other books that I read that I really liked. But there weren't too many that impressed me that I've read over the break, except for this one. So, anyway, yeah, just go check it out. This is the cover again, I'll show you. It's Hotel in the Corner of Bitter and Sweet by Jamie Ford. And it was really, really great. I give it 10 out of 3 stars. It was great. So, anyway, I hope you guys have a really great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.